You got this, Vanessa. Let's go, baby.
They put their blood, sweat, and tears into what they do.
That's what it's all about right here. The guys love what we do.
Marty Perez.
Hey, these are all my brothers and sisters out here, so we're good.
Just one of many deputies out there.
You got this, Vanessa. Let's go, baby.
Training hard for the worst possible situations.
Okay, ERT is up next.
A victim is in the water.
Victim in, right side, right side.
The operator of the boat spins it in a circle to lower a boat rail.
Once we lower that rail low enough in the water by spinning it, it's easier to pull the victim into the boat. It's hard because victims are they're afraid. They're in the water. They weren't planning on being in the water.
Spray painted across these doors.
When Corey Brandenberger, principal of the Cross Lutheran Church and School, arrived at school Tuesday morning, he discovered something very wrong. Satanic messages covering walls and doors.
The messages were meant to insult Christians. You know, they were said God is dead and hail Satan.
The graffiti also included the number 666 and a derogatory slur for African Americans. Brandenberger called New Braunfels police, but the school doesn't have security cameras.
We're probably in the 6th inning right now, guys. It's probably 2-2. He's chewing Montejano out to ask him what he's going to do next right now.
My faith tells me that he's probably yelling at me, hurry up, I want to go drink a beer.
But if you go back and you read that speech,
and so we just need to be aware and we need to re-educate.
if we look at America's history, and if we would just take our halos off.
We can't just fight against something. We have to fight for something.
Be able to publicly express your concern.
My brother was a father. He was a son.
Call it out when we see it.
Killing each other and making our lives matter.
Nobody's out there looking for anybody to get hurt.
So if anybody needs anything,
we're out here trying to preach a message of love and equality.
All lives matter.
When Black Lives Matter.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Surgery, paperwork, everything that was done over at Animal Care Services.
Claire Cook's children can't wait to get their first dog.
I call her Pepsi.
P-E-P-S-I.
Sapa is grateful they're here.
We have a lot of great dogs and cats that need homes, and we need to find them homes soon.
That's because Sapa must vacate this building by October 31st.
The Sanders family has been counting down to Rio for more than a year, and Maya says she's technically in remission.
So hopefully I won't have to go back on any medicines.
And can't wait to see the games.
For basketball and volleyball, but as for the landmark, the Christ the Redeemer statue, you know, the one that stands up there, I'm really excited to see that too.
Maya says the best part of it all is being able to share her wish with her family.
You know, drop off a candle or us with her flowers.
Frozen, My Little Pony. Those were just some of Iris's favorite things.
Her flowers that are pink, purple.
The 8-mile stretch of road is now Enrique M. Barrero Memorial Parkway to honor a former councilman. So business leaders and community members reached into their bank accounts.
Hernandez never forgets his roots, especially the man who planted the seed, his dad.
You know, we grew up obviously in a very simple home, and Dad worked several jobs before he ultimately opened up his own restaurant. He always referenced tacos. He goes, I don't want you making tacos on the west side your whole life. You know, you have to go on and get educated.
I mean, now you're cooking tacos for the White House.
Yeah, we had to cook tacos.
So he'll continue the traditions and making tacos.
Because I felt that a lot of San Antonio was there with me, and I think we delivered.
Hard-working deputies.
They have tied the hands of the deputies so bad that they can't really do their job.
Their peers investigated.
They're not above the law, they just wear a shield.
Jail overcrowding means weary detention workers.
Right now, they're looking at a supervisor shortage within the sheriff's office.
Adding more than 50 detention officers, sergeants, and lieutenants.
A team of historians identified 68 factual errors, 42 interpretive errors, and 31 omission errors in the textbook. The moment a kid walks into the HEB Body Adventure at the Whitty Museum, they're learning about their health, and researchers are learning too.
The exhibit works like this. Kids start by creating what's called a power pass. They enter a little information about themselves, including their zip code, which is key in this research.
For some, it may be hard to imagine two Olympic-sized pools right here in the Alamo Dome.
Well, right now there's a football field. And if the Olympic swimming trials were to come to San Antonio, well, it would look like this.
This is a rendering of it, and this would be on one half of the dome. On the other half, you would see the warm-up.
Each second grade teacher also gets an HEB Buddy League kit that comes with things like coloring sheets, Buddy League pamphlets, and educational posters to drive home the message of be a buddy, not a bully.
Randy has since invested in stronger fencing.
After the recent attacks, ranchers here are now replacing the original fencing with the sheep and goat wire where the holes are a lot smaller, as opposed to this kind of field fencing where the holes are much larger.
An animal control order states any owner who leaves a dog or coyote at large can face fines. The Bandera County Sheriff's Office says they have 2 descriptions of dogs and have looked through the area. So far, no dogs have matched, and Randy is forced to start over.
Find some more goats, I guess. Oh, anyway,
Camilla Rambaldi,
way it goes.
News 4 San Antonio.
I talked to a guy rolling up to this Taco Bell when he witnessed a fight inside. A woman with more tea than this dousing a manager.
I'm right here.
The video just surfaced on social media this weekend, showing a March 3rd confrontation. A woman seen launching tea at a manager. The manager returning fire with a tea container of his own. And the woman then throws her container at him. Customer Richard Lopez called police as he watched from the drive-thru window, wondering,
how can you mess up that order that bad?
Well, Randy, right now we are about 15 yards away from the highway, so you can only imagine how scary it can be for some tow truck operators. Sometimes they are just inches away from your cars driving on the highway, and that's why they need your help obeying the laws.
This is why we have the move over, slow down law.
This viral Facebook Live video shows the aftermath from a Sunday night wreck. A car slammed into Roadrunner Towing along Interstate 35 in Live Oak. The company was helping out another towing company with traffic.
People do not slow down, they do not move over.
Stephanie Bowles lost her husband in May when he was tending to a car on a Killeen highway.
You do everything you can, but it's still not enough. He had his reflective on. He had every light in the truck on. We actually have extra lighting that was on that truck that he had on, and it still wasn't enough.
Texas law requires drivers to either slow down by 10 miles under the posted speed limit or move over when you see flashing lights. It's supposed to be for all emergency vehicles, including tow trucks. Jeff Neenstead says it doesn't happen.
Police departments are so understaffed, they just don't have the time to police this the way they need to.
We put it to the test to see what these tow operators deal with on a daily basis. We spent a few minutes on the side of I-35 in Schertz and witnessed more than 150 cars zoom by the tow truck without slowing down or moving over.
We had 2 tow trucks move over. I got to give them kudos for that. And one pickup truck pulling a trailer moved over.
Now watch what happens when a Schertz police officer helps us out with his blue and red flashing lights. Drivers immediately started pumping the brakes and obeying the law.
And that's one of the reasons, as a tow truck operator with an incident management license, we want to be allowed to run the blue lights to the rear. It gets people's attention and it slows them down.
His arms outstretched in worship.
There's really a community spirit there.
Reaching for the hands of a higher power. But just 2.5 weeks after they wed, Martha Batten was taken away.
But she was crossing the street for a burrito. She had just turned 27.
That's why Coffee is now using the force to raise awareness.
Always gotta be aware.
Lightsaber in tow. He walks the streets of San Antonio.
And it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, you can see me.
Terry Galbraith has trouble walking because she's recovering from a stroke. She can no longer drive, therefore she relies on Via Metropolitan Transit to get to work, doctor's appointments, and physical therapy.
On the way.
We set up cameras last week outside Terry's home to monitor service. Via contracts Star Shuttle and Yellow Cab to help with overflow. On this day, the driver was 13 minutes late for pickup.
You weren't as late as usual.
Well after the sun goes down, this officer's shift begins. It's dog watch at SAPD. Joseph Hernandez
looking for North New Braunfels and Breeze.
patrols the Sunrise neighborhood, aka Gunrise, in the eyes of some. This is his late brother, Richard Hernandez. The cross belonged to him before random gang violence in 1992 ended his life at age 18. His war on crime has shown no signs of slowing.
As the train at Brackenridge Park makes its way around, families are enjoying their day.
A barbecue, take the kids to see the ducks, throw frisbee, throw balls.
For John Di Barrera, coming to the park with his grandkids is a family tradition.
Just relax. I mean, this is what it's all about.
And fighting for a good spot.
Everybody's got a stake on their favorite spot, and you take their spot, they kind of get a little bit mad.
The historical park is in the works for a makeover. City officials say a master plan proposes to renovate the area by adding more pathways, restoring the riverbanks and gardens, along with cutting down on traffic.
Going on, Daryl?
Baby face.
How you doing?
Hi!
Joseph's wife, Crystal, is a cancer survivor.
So everything from right here all the way up to here is all metal.
Just like she supports his calling,
They used to send me home on a fluid pack because I would get dehydrated.
he makes sure to be by her side. Edgar Velasquez is 17, Jalen Garcia 13. Both have osteosarcoma.
What grade are you in? 8th grade. Ooh, almost high school.
It's the same form of cancer Crystal beat before she married the love of her life 11 years ago.
She is my hero. She's been through a lot.
Life on the beat is easy to see, but behind the badge,
Trying to make the city a better place for, everybody and, future generations.
is a cop who cares.